welcome to Kerry's Cards. Thank you for joining me for this little tutorial on how to use the Give It a Whirl die set that comes in the current catalogue for Stampin' Up. As you can see, there's a whole array of different dies that you can use, but we're going to use some of the dies there today to make this little card here. I've also used the Playful Penguins, which was the designer series paper that was in the celebration. Now you can use this for any type of designer series paper that has some patterns that you can cut out, and I'll talk you through how that all works. But here you can see a number of the elements. So we've got some clouds on, we've got the stars, and we've also got the base and the wheel. But I just wanted to talk through a few of the other dies as well. So we use the stars quite a bit and the hearts, lots of different options that doesn't necessarily just link to the Give It a Whirl. So these are the two main pieces of the die set that fit together and to twist around. But obviously you can use these elements on so many other cards, because this cuts out a heart, that cuts out a shape, a rectangle, we've got a word block. Comes out like this and makes a beautiful little embellishment to go on something. But when you're ready, so what we'll do is I'll crack on and we'll get and make the card. I've already pre-cut all the shapes that I'm going to use just for speed in the video. Well, I'll pop that up there so you can still see what we're aiming to make. Okay, so the base card is a standard 5 3/4 by 8 inches. Then I score at 4 inches, fold in half, then we can take off and put it back underneath. And cut that edge off to give us our base card. 4 by 5 3/4. Put the trimmer away. The next base of the card, we need to have our background, our blue area there. And you can see I've already cut out. So you run this bit through the machine first, and then once you've done that, you put your in this instance, I use this one, so run it back through the machine again to cut out the shape that you want. But obviously you can have whichever shape you would like, and you can put it wherever you want on your bit that you cut out for when the wheel spin section goes round. This is the bit that you will cut out to make the spinny bit round the side. And you can see that there's 3 sections on here cut out. So what I've done is I've kept the bit that came out of there. And the reason I've kept that is because what you can do is you can stamp an image on here. But to make it nice and tidy and so that the image doesn't go over, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to cut out shapes from some paper with some small pictures on. So I'm using one of these sets of papers here. And you can see, for example, I've already cut one out there. So essentially I'm just going to draw around with a pen. Find the images that I want to use. And then let's have a look on Penguin, because he's quite cute. And my other one I think was a polar bear. Nice snowman. So obviously you can find a nice small image on any piece of designer series paper. It could be flowers, it could be The other one that works quite well with this is any small stamped images. Now I'm just going to cut them out. So that's one. Two. Okay, so there's my 3 images. And then I just want to make sure that you put them on the right way up, because there's a right way and a wrong way. Put the glue on the back and then just glue them into the edge, into the section that we've cut out. Twist it round that way. Twist it round again. There's our 3 different images. Now I've also cut out here, whilst we're doing some fussy cutting, I've cut out one of the bigger teddies, well, polar bears. So again, I'm just going to quickly fussy cut. I could do a penguin, or I could do a panda, or a polar bear. I keep calling him a panda. The polar bear, the fox. I can obviously take a little bit more time cutting out than I am here. Some other papers in the winter catalogue with the cats and dogs on that I think would work really well with this idea that we've got here going. Okay, that's our polar bear that I've got there. Then I'm going to bring in some of the clouds that I've cut out and some of the stars. I've cut these out of some sparkly, what was in the sale bration, but again, you could use some silver glitter card, whichever works just as well. One thing we also need is a brad, and that's going to attach the 2 things together. Another cloud I'm after. It's another cloud. One thing I did put on the back of this one here is one of the stars. This is out of the Tide and Trimmings die sets. It goes through quite well, and obviously it's got lots of little bits that you can just pop out to make the star shape. And the die cuts are so good that they just pop out. I'm just going to get a pick a tool because it'll be quicker. There's a lovely little brush that they have that you can pop on, and it helps just brush all the bits out in one go. I quite find this quite therapeutic. And then once we've got this ready, it's just a case of putting it all together. I think that's everything. Just get rid of all of those. Okay, so I think we're ready to build the card. So our base layer, again, let's make sure that it's nice and solid. We take our wheel and we pop that through the back, and you'll see that there's two little holes. There's one there and one in the card that's pre-cut when you do your middle bit. And essentially you just need to line the two holes up, put your brad through the middle, so it's like that, turn it over and open up the brad, and that will then give you the spinning element of the card. Now I put everything else onto the card before I load it up onto here. So again, just using some glue where you want to put your stars. Give it a little bit of thought, but random is quite good. Random-esque. I'm going to pop the cloud on that one there. And then I'm just going to pop a little bit of wording on there to make it into a Christmas card. This is using my Season's Greetings, Tide and Trimmings. So this is where the star came from, but this is the stamp set rather than the die set. I'm going to stamp it in Misty Moonlight, so it coordinates with the blue of his scarf. It's the beauty of all the Stampin' Up stuff, is that it all coordinates. Put that away. Okay, and then I'm just going to use a foam pad to give this a little bit of lift. Stick down my triangle first, my star first. A couple of ways you can put the glue on this. Because it's so thin, I just tend to try and go over it and squeeze my Tombow quite lightly. But I've only put glue on the bottom half, not the top half, because I want it to come out a little bit off the card. And then again, I'm going to give my polar bear, he's going to have a 3D element to him, so I'm going to make him stand up off the card too. One in the middle because we've got a saggy bear. That them all off. Want that one there. Pop him on the card. Actually, I'm going to do him slightly different, I think, because he might look better being slightly off the bottom. So I'm just going to turn him up over there a minute. Right, when we come to popping this one on, because to make sure this spin thing works, I've got double height on my foam pads there. So if I turn over, I'll show you where to put all the foam pads. And the double height just makes sure that you're able to spin the actual thing, the dial round. Just take all the foam bits off. Depending on the height of your foam pad, you might not need to do this if you've got some extra thick ones, but then I'm just going around and putting a second lot of foam pads on each one. Okay, and then I turn it over. Now you can either make it symmetrical on the card, or you can raise it to the top. I'm going to put mine at the top. The reason being is then I can actually put my teddy bear slightly over on the bottom. So we've got two different finishes there, the same but different. So there we have a twisted Give It a Whirl Christmas card, currently using the penguins papers from the Celebration. So if you manage to pick up some of those in the Celebration, then you can use those. But that should smile on anybody that receives that card. It's just a little bit different. So there we are. And don't forget to put your inside in as well, because it makes it, because the card front is so heavy, you must put down inside your layer as well to help it weight it better. Now if you come in to post this in as a Christmas card, it will not go through as a normal post Royal Mail. It will have to pay extra postage, so just be mindful of that if you are planning to post it. Okay, and there we have two Give It a Whirl Christmas cards. Hope you've enjoyed making them, and I'd like to see what you come up with. Many thanks. Bye.